down here for a week's fishing in Portugal. I was hoping to test out the Enticer 15-gram tweak bait and a few other lures. Yeah, the swells are looking pretty big, not as bad as it was last year, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to test those lures out. But this time I decided to see if I could give a few tips on how to use the lures in general, especially for bass fishing. I get a lot of people asking me how to use the lures and which lures did they use in certain conditions, etc. I mean, I have made some YouTube videos, instructionals how to use the lures, but I still do get people asking, so hopefully this will help. So I've just arrived, it's my birthday today, so hopefully it's going to bring me a bit of luck. I've just put on the 50-gram Enticer Topwater to start with. Unfortunately the swell is set to get bigger over the next days, so it's a real shame. Hopefully it will then go down. Swell's coming from a long way away. It's a real proper surf swell. Fantastic for surfing at some of the spots I reckon today. But I only had one thing in mind, and that was get that lure in the water. Right, it's a good spot on the inside. In about another 15 yards more, there's some boulders there, and the bass tend to be sitting around there if there's bass around. And I wanted to try the 15-gram tweak bait, but unfortunately the swell is pretty big. So I've got this. Oh, come on. Let's come that way. Now I've got the Enticer on, the Topwater, 50-gram, because some big sets coming through every now and again. Ah, it's around that rock. Oh, get over that rock. Sugar. Got it. I have to walk him up here. He's on. Moment. Nice bass. So that's a good start to my birthday. I just arrived today, been fishing about 20 minutes, and I put on the Enticer 50-gram Topwater. There's a little bit of swell running there, it's a little bit big, and yeah, just this one hit it, so it's a great start. Okay. So when it's really big waves, as long as you've got some good water clarity, can always be worth fishing for bass. It's just got to make sure you pick the right area really, where either there's some shelter, if it's got some shelter from the rocks, and how the waves are breaking. So I always look for waves that are breaking softer and running along for a long way, rather than crashing down, of course, so the bass can sit there and come in. There's a lot of rocks out there, so I'm using the Enticer 50-gram Topwater, and I'm just going to keep it along the surface with the rod tip up, just shaking the rod tip, which also gives it a nice action along the top, and a few taps. And tap it especially if you're going over rocks to make sure it doesn't get snagged at all. Okay, so just hit a little bass coming over that ledge there. It's only small. It took a 50-gram Enticer. Wow, it's tiny. Oh my gosh. Right in the mouth. Lord. Well, let's start. At least I won't be blanking today. Okay, it's pretty big up the west coast today, so I'm down at this Nice beach here on the south coast. There's still quite a lot of swell here, but I'm gonna fish along a little bit along here for a while. I'm working the Enticer Topwater Minnow. There's just over these rocks, there's a set of rocks here, and the waves are breaking quite a way out and rolling along, so it's the right kind of waves I find for bass fishing. You get deeper patches dug out from the swell, and this is where the bass can often be sitting. Yeah, I was just bringing the Enticer along these little deep patches around the rocks, and I thought it looked really bassy, and there was one sitting there. It's a nice little bass there. Okay, with a really big swell running up the west coast, I decided to hit the south coast this morning, so at least it's fishable, and it looked quite good, quite possible. And then right on the inside, fairly shallow water where you've got the rocks, and then there's some deep patches after. You often get back sitting around those spots. So ideal conditions I find for bass fishing on the west coast here is between sort of 1/2 metre to about 1.5 meters. It doesn't mean that you can't fish when it's big. As long as the water clarity is okay, then you can find some places it is possible. That's probably the most important thing. If the water's dirty and it's big, then don't even bother. Okay, really big waves for here. It's obviously not ideal, but I'm giving it a go. I mean, I know this used to be a favourite spot of mine years ago. Oh, I've seen the bass, I'm sure of it. I reckon it's definitely possible. It's a beautiful colour of water, much better than it is further down the coast. So it's definitely possible. There's some rocks here where bass sit in. It's just ideally would be a bit smaller, a lot smaller. I'll get some lulls between these waves. It's a bit of a lull now, so hopefully something to be able to see the lure in the lull if there's anything around. It does feel bassy, that's for sure. Just about finding these channels. Some nice channels here where the bass can come up. Some rocks there, and they form some deep water channels around. Not a bad one. Oh, he's off. No, he's not. Is he? No. He's following it, trying to hit it. Hopefully see if I can pull out of this rock. Got to negotiate the rocks there. It's not that big, but I'm going to bring it in. It's definitely not bad. Not sure if I can bring it in around here. That's good. Again, the conditions are a bit big today, but I felt there was definitely a possibility here in the lulls, because there's some big sets coming through, really big sets crashing down, but in the lulls it's okay. Once you know an area, you tend to get a feel for it and what spots hold bass and which spots are unproductive. You can spend less time on these and really work on the good spots. Some areas just look bassy but don't produce. I still give them a few casts, so just to be on the safe side, but spend more time on the proven marks. I also find that some marks tend to work better at different tide states, and that's definitely worth taking into consideration. generally like to fish for bass where there's some wave action, as I find the bass are really looking for food and can be more aggressive in these situations. That's good. Walking along here. On that rock. Yeah, it's not breaking so heavy, and yeah, it's certainly got light. Actually hammered then. Get away from this set coming, it's dangerous. Whacking out the 90 gram tweak bait again. It's holding good in this swell. Okay. This is over some nice rocks now. I'll just tweak it through. Flipping heck. Got a soak in them again. I'm frozen, but it's all worth it. Okay, it's a big cast out with the tweak bait, so pretty clear water out there. So I'm going to splash it between the surface and underneath, try and draw some attention to it. Subsurface tweak. I've got a hook up, try and get on there. Ooh. Well, come around there. Got him. Almost. It's a nice one. It's too rough. So then I tried the 90 gram, we painted this one. It's something we're working on at the moment. See if this is any more.